Hey everyone, it's Jessica Michaels here with another layout for Shimmerz paints. Today I am doing a 12 by 12 page of my baby girl turning 3, and I thought it would be cool to do some mixed media on a colored background since it's been a little while since I've done that. So I went with a gray textured cardstock by Basil to start my background, and then I'm just using papers from the Sweater Weather collection, and I am just going to cut them apart. So I'm going to use little paper strips to create a large number 3 for my layout and just kind of piece them together and distress them a bit as per usual. I'm always distressing things on my channel, and I'm just gonna make a big number 3 with these and then add some mixed media to the back. So I've got my Tim Holtz trimmer here. I just used that for this layout since I was just making some little strips for this page, and I am just going to cut them up here as you can see and make this a large number 3 since my daughter was turning 3 and I did a little photo shoot for her 3rd birthday. And I am just going to kind of piece them all together and scatter the colors. I do kind of lay them out here and then just kind of get a look and feel where I want my number 3 to be and how I want it shaped and all those good things, because number 3s can be written a couple different ways. So I just decided to go old school with this one and just make like a curvy 3, not a straight line at the top or anything like that. So I'm just making a normal everyday number 3 for this one, just like this, and laying it out in my different colors, just seeing where I want it to be, kind of how big I want it to be compared to my photo. And then I'm just going to grab a pencil and make a light pencil mark here for where exactly that 3 goes. Scooch all of my paper strips off to the side and then grab some Liquitex white gesso and my spatula. I'm just going to scrape this on here. So I'm just sticking to my pencil line that I drew out, and I'm just adding some white gesso because that's what's going to prep my paper in order to be able to add those paints and mixed media onto my paper. What gesso does is it allows you to add heavy wet mediums to your paper, and it keeps your paper from warping too bad, and it also allows some blendability within the colors as well. So if you want your colors to kind of run together and be able to blend and have some movement with them, that's what the gesso does. So if you didn't prep your paper with gesso first, the paints would just kind of suck right into the paper because paper is porous. So it's just going to soak in whatever you put down. You won't be able to move it. If you make a boo-boo or a mistake, you won't be able to quickly dab it up with a paper towel. And that's what the gesso is for. It allows a little bit more of a playful atmosphere whenever you're dealing with these mixed medias and different paints and things, so you can actually move them around, blend them together, and add these colors exactly where you want in this case. So this is something I do from time to time where I want paints to be in one exact spot or very precise, is I just use my paintbrush. Here I've left my gesso dry first. I add a little bit of water to the gesso first, and then I go in with my paints in the different colors here. I'm using a whole array of colors today. It's kind of like a little rainbow in fall shades. So the yellow one there is Bumblebee Bee. It's a Shimmerz product. Most of these are Shimmerz. A couple of them are Inklingz. But I've got the yellow one is Bumblebee Bee, the orange is Pumpkin, and then I do end up going back in with Here I Am in Shimmerz for an orange one as well. The darker ones down here are, I think, the greens are Spruce It Up and Emerald City is what I ended up using there. And the blue one is an Inklingz product in Oakie Bear Blue. So I'll put all these down in the description for you, so you don't have to remember all of these names or anything. I will make sure I link them down below so that you can grab them from the Shimmerz shop if you like. If you do place an order over there at shimmerz.com, be sure to use my name Jessica in the notes section of your order because they'll send you a free gift along with your order. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm just applying my paints very precisely, and then to break up the colors a little bit, I'm using other shades or sometimes the same shades. Here I'm using Minor 49er. It's my favorite gold from the Shimmerz collection. This one's an Inklingz product, so it's a little bit it's not already prepped and ready to go. Whenever you get it, you just have to add water to it. It comes solid in the little pod, and then you just add water and you can flick it on with your paintbrush like this. But I'm just using the different shades to add lots of splatters and kind of break up the colors a little bit. I did keep my white gesso on my glass mat, as you can see there from when I prepped my paper, because I'm going to actually use that. So I actually watered it down and used a little bit of that to splatter some white splatters onto my layout as well. So that's where you saw that come in, and then I just wiped it off of my glass mat there. But I use the white gesso a lot to add white splatters just because it helps break up those paint colors, and that white gesso is actually going to sit on top of those paints, so it doesn't just blend right in with your paints and kind of disappear. It will actually just sit on top to create some nice white splatters. And I also made sure that those splatters went on the gray parts of the paper as well, kind of off the gesso, so it broke up that part of the paper as well as the painted part. So here I set this aside to dry for quite a bit, just naturally. I think I actually let it dry overnight, if I remember right, and came back the next day. I don't usually do that. Sometimes I'll take my heat tool to it and just heat it up and make it dry super quickly for me, because I'm super impatient when I'm making layouts. But this one, I think I had to walk away anyways, so I let this dry overnight, came back the next day, and I am adding my paper strips on here now. Originally, I was kind of sticking to my color scheme. You can see the top I did yellow and then orange to match my paint colors, but in the end I did end up mixing them up and just adding them kind of wherever suited my fancy, and just adding the colors here and there, and just getting some pops of little colors like the blues and the reds in there as well. And then my photo here, I have just matted with some white cardstock, and I have a little canvas flare that I want to use in this layout that I just stuck off to the side there. That's from Scrappin Happy Studio, from my stash that I have here in my ever-growing stash of what seems like a crazy amount of flair and mixed media supplies. And I have some little elements from the sticker sheet in this EcoPort collection that I want to use around my photo, like this cute little scallop border. I just cut a little piece off of that sticker sheet and added it to the side of my photo. And then I wanted to add some little florals down here on the bottom corner, just for a little pop of something. And at some point here, my camera shuts off when I'm embellishing. I know all I did really was I took a bunch of these stickers from the sticker book and the sticker sheet that were just leaves in different colors, and I tucked them around my number 3 in different places. But my camera shut off because my storage was full on my phone. But alas, everyone, I have a new phone that I had just got that should never ever ever run out of space ever, so I should no longer have that problem now, thank goodness. But so that'll be the next video. The next video I film will be with my new phone that I film with. I just use iPhones. I have the newest iPhone now at this point, but this video here was filmed on my old iPhone, which I think was like a 14, I think. So I usually wait a long time before I upgrade. And I mean, that doesn't seem like that long ago that I got that phone, but it was just constantly full and glitching out. So we got a new phone, so I should be good to go and film all of my lovely creations now. So I'm going to link everything that I have used down in the description for you guys in case you want to grab anything from the Shimmerz shop, as well as anything else random that I used in this layout as well. I'm just finishing this layout with adding some little word phrases down here at the bottom. There's where my camera cut out. So you see a little jump in my embellishing there. That is why. And then just adding some thread behind my canvas flare, and I'm just going to tuck that around. I usually glue down the tails so they're not all willy-nilly. And then here is the finished layout. I love how this one came together to document my little baby girl turning 3. Hope you guys are inspired by this process today, and it intrigues you to try out some easy mixed media. If you guys have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments below, and I will list everything in the description for you. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.